Have you ever wondered what really goes on in a woman's mind when she realizes she might have lost you? What makes her, after ignoring you for weeks or even months, suddenly show interest again? The answer lies in a hidden detail of the female mind that very few men understand, and knowing this could be the difference between being forgotten or being intensely desired. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what happens inside her at that moment and, more importantly, how you can use this knowledge to spark an irresistible desire in her. The other day, a friend called me devastated. The woman he loved the most, the one he did everything for, simply left him for another guy. He was confused. I was always there for her, gave her attention, affection, and yet she left me. The worst part? Months later, when he finally started moving on, she suddenly reappeared as if nothing had happened. That was when he realized. Something changed in her mind the moment she felt she had lost him. And look, this doesn't just happen to him. Maybe it has happened to you too. You put in effort, you try to show how much you like her, but it never seems to be enough. She starts acting differently, pulling away, and you're left wondering what went wrong. But then, the moment you stop chasing her, out of nowhere, she comes back. Feels like a trick, right? But it's not. This is psychology. The way women react to loss is very specific, and understanding this can completely change the game. The truth is, when a man tries too hard to win over or keep a woman, he often ends up doing the exact opposite of what actually sparks desire in her. He becomes predictable, too safe, and what started as attraction turns into comfort, then boredom. But when a woman realizes she has lost this man, something inside her triggers an emotional response that makes her see him in a completely different way. So, what happens in her mind at that moment? How can you turn this dynamic around before it's too late? That's exactly what I'm about to show you. But first, tell me in the comments, have you ever experienced this? Have you noticed a woman changing her behavior after you stopped giving her attention? I want to hear your story. Now imagine this. You meet an amazing woman, things seem to be going great, and suddenly she starts pulling away. Her messages become colder, conversations shorter, and meetups less frequent. You feel like you're losing her, and in a panic, you do everything you can to win her back. You send affectionate messages, suggest dates, try to show how much you care. But instead of bringing her closer, it seems like the more you try, the more distant she becomes. This happens because many men make a classic mistake without even realizing it. They assume that unconditional dedication always leads to reciprocity. But in the game of attraction, when something is guaranteed, it loses value. This doesn't mean you should treat a woman badly or ignore her on purpose. Far from it. The point is, if she feels she always has you without any effort on her part, she won't feel that irresistible urge to be with you. She may like you, but that uncontrollable desire, that disappears. Now think about it. How many times have you been pushed aside without explanation, only for her to start chasing you again once you moved on with your life? That's no coincidence. When you stop offering constant validation, an unconscious trigger is activated in her mind. What was once certainty becomes doubt, and doubt leads to curiosity, which often turns into attraction again. But how do you do this without playing games or seeming indifferent? There's a right way to activate this natural instinct of valuing you without needing to disappear or pretend not to care. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you. Now, stay with me, because this could be the key to completely changing the way you handle relationships with women. Here's something no one has told you. When a woman realizes she lost you, something shifts in her mind. But that doesn't necessarily mean she'll come running back. What actually happens is that she enters a state of uncertainty and starts reevaluating your worth in her life. But for this to work in your favor, one crucial detail matters. You need to handle it the right way. If you mess up at this moment, you could lose this opportunity completely and ensure that she moves on without looking back. The most common mistake men make in this situation is thinking that insisting will solve everything. They send messages asking for explanations, wondering what they did wrong, begging for a second chance, even making emotional declarations. The problem? When a woman feels she has full control of the situation, it only reinforces her decision to move on without you. That's why the more you try to convince her to come back, the faster she disconnects emotionally. But there's a completely different and much more effective approach. When a woman realizes she lost you and, instead of seeing a desperate guy, she sees a confident man, calm and moving forward with his life, it creates a real emotional conflict inside her. She starts wondering, did I make the right choice? Why isn't he chasing me? Has he already found someone else? And that doubt can turn into a strong desire to have your attention back. Now, what's the difference between a woman who just feels that momentary doubt and one who actually decides to reach out? There's a crucial psychological element that activates this process inside her, and most men simply don't see it. I'm about to show you exactly what you need to do so that she comes back willingly, without you having to beg or force anything. Pay attention, because this could completely change how women see you. Now that you understand what goes on in her mind when she realizes she lost you, we need to talk about the biggest mistakes men make in this situation. And the first one is desperation. When a man feels like he's about to lose a woman, his instinct is to do everything he can to stop that from happening. Long messages, attempts to talk, pleas for an explanation, dramatic declarations. But do you know what that does? It only gives her total control over the relationship. If she had any doubt about moving on before, now she's certain she can come back whenever she wants. And that certainty kills any chance of attraction. Another classic mistake is trying to make her jealous the wrong way. Many men think that posting pictures with other women or appearing overly happy without her will trigger a sense of possessiveness and make her chase them. But here's the problem. If she notices that you're forcing it, she might just see it as a desperate attempt for validation. Jealousy only works when it stems from genuine doubt, not from an obvious trick. And the best way to create this doubt isn't by rubbing other women in her face, but by seeming completely satisfied and busy with your own life. But the most subtle and possibly most dangerous mistake is accepting breadcrumbs of attention. When a woman realizes she lost you, she may not want to come back completely, but she also doesn't want to lose you entirely. So she starts sending random messages like, "Hey, stranger," or "How have you been?" If you reply immediately, make yourself available, and go back to giving her all your attention like before, she feels reassured that she still has you, without having to commit. The result? You become the backup plan, the guy she keeps around while she figures out what she really wants. If you've fallen into any of these traps, don't worry. What matters now is what you do next. There's a much more effective strategy to turn things around and, more importantly, to make her desire you again, intensely and genuinely. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to regain your value in her eyes and flip the script for good. Pay attention, because this is the part that really makes all the difference. Now that you know what not to do, let's get into what actually works. And it all starts with the first step, strategic silence. If you want a woman to recognize your value, you need to give her time and space to miss you. That means no messages, no likes, no subtle hints. It sounds simple, but very few men have the courage to do this. Why? Because silence is uncomfortable, but it's that very discomfort that plants a seed of doubt in her mind. Why did he stop reaching out? And that doubt is what makes her start noticing your absence. The second step is truly valuing yourself. There's no point in pulling away if your life remains the same. If she sees that nothing has changed, the impact of your silence will be minimal. The key here is to show that you're better off without her, not through words, but through actions. If you used to spend too much time focused on her, now is the time to invest that energy in yourself. Hit the gym, start new projects, have new experiences, make new friends. When she realizes that instead of suffering, you're actually growing, something powerful happens in a woman's instincts. The real fear of loss kicks in. And that brings us to the third step, indirect re-engagement. This is where most men screw up. When they see that she's showing signs of interest again, they give in way too fast. If you do this, you throw away all the progress you made with the previous steps. The key is to create a challenge. When she reaches out, respond calmly. Be polite, but don't give her your full attention right away. Make it clear through your attitude that now she's the one who has to win you back. And this role reversal is exactly what reignites her desire. Now comes the best part. How do you know if this strategy is actually working? What are the signs that she has realized she lost you and now wants you back? There's a simple yet incredibly effective way. To test this, once you've followed the previous steps, you reach a crucial moment. How do you know if it worked? If the strategy was executed correctly, the signs will start appearing. And the first one is subtle but revealing. She starts watching your stories, liking your posts, or even leaving a casual comment. This doesn't necessarily mean she'll message you immediately, but it does show that she has noticed your absence. What used to be indifference has now turned into curiosity. Another classic sign? She reaches out to you for no apparent reason. It could be something like, "Hey, stranger," or some random question. This is not a coincidence. When a woman realizes she lost a valuable man, she looks for a low-key way to reestablish contact without seeming desperate. But here's the trick. Don't fall into the trap of responding too eagerly. If you make it seem like you were just waiting for her message, the game will flip against you. And there's more. If she starts asking about you through mutual friends, that means her doubt has already turned into genuine interest. If she truly wanted to forget you, she wouldn't be concerned about what you're up to. And when that interest intensifies, a predictable behavior emerges. Signs of jealousy. She might casually ask about someone she saw with you, or she may try to bring up old memories you shared. This happens because deep down, she's testing whether she still has any hold over you. Now, here's the crucial point. What should you do when this happens? Most men, the moment they notice these signs, assume they've already won and just hand everything over on a silver platter. That is the worst mistake you can make. The key is to hold your ground. Let her realize that if she truly wants you back, she'll have to earn it. And that's when you take control of the situation. Now, there's one final detail that can take this to an entirely new level. Something that doesn't just make her miss you, but actually makes her emotionally obsessed with you. Very few men understand this secret, and I'm about to reveal it to you. Now that you know how to make a woman realize she lost you, the big question is, how do you take this to the next level? How do you not only spark her interest again, but make her feel an irresistible urge to be with you? The answer lies in a hidden aspect of the female mind that most men don't even realize exists. This detail triggers such a powerful emotional response that when it happens, she won't even understand why she can't stop thinking about you. And the best part? Almost no guys know how to use this to their advantage. Most of them, unknowingly, destroy attraction instead. But the ones who do understand this dynamic manage to achieve something that seems impossible. They make her feel like she needs to win them over, not the other way around. When you activate this trigger, she starts seeing you as the man she should have never let go of. And when that happens, her behavior completely changes. If you want to learn exactly how to activate this mechanism in her mind and make her chase you naturally, I've prepared something special for you. There's a secret that can forever change the way you deal with women, and it's waiting for you right now. Click on the video linked in the first pinned comment and discover the secret that changes everything. And of course, if you enjoyed this content and want to learn even more about how to become an irresistible man, subscribe to the channel right now. Here, I bring you insights that will help you understand the female mind and master the game of attraction in a genuine and powerful way. See you in the next video.